I realize that financially speaking, some of you are doing quite well, while others are really struggling. Today, I want to talk about navigating financial crisis with faith. When it comes to the economy, depending upon whom you are listening to, it seems that either the sky is falling or we are doing fantastic. Well, who's right? Who's wrong? What's true? What's false? As people of faith, we need discernment. We need to be asking questions. We need to be critical thinkers. We need to be growing in understanding, wisdom, and knowledge in the things around us. And when we address the economy, we need to understand the economy. God is warning us concerning the upcoming economy. And if you think things are difficult now, then the signs that we are seeing, and some we will identify in this episode, are a huge warning sign. So make sure you stay with me the entire episode. Before we get going, if you like this type of content, consider subscribing to my weekly newsletter. It's absolutely free every Thursday in your inbox. All you need to do is click on the link below to subscribe. We need to ponder the path of our feet according to Proverbs chapter 4, verse 26. We need to consider where we're going, where we're heading. And when things around us are difficult, even more so, we need to be paying attention. We're headed into rough financial waters, and this is not clickbait. The data, the economic reporting, it is God's way of telling us what's happening. And we need to be prepared. Financial crisis is on the way. But how will we react? What do we do to navigate through it? That's what we want to look at. Realize this when it comes to a financial crisis. There's basically three types of financial crisis. Now, I could break that down into minutia, but for, argument's sake, there's your neighbor, your community, and your industry. And we'll call that a recession. Then there's your personal financial crisis. That's a depression. And then, of course, there's the nation's economy, which unfortunately, many people pay very little attention to. But God has a way of warning us ahead of time of upcoming crisis. He warned us ahead of time before 2008. He's warned us before 2020, and now he's warning us once again. And I'm going to bring some of those warning signs in this episode. And we're going to end with the way that we can navigate through this financial crisis. So, a recent headline from CNBC stated this: why single income households are a bygone era. I remember early on in our marriage, my wife and I decided that she will be a full-time stay-at-home mom, and it was the best decision we made. Now it's extremely difficult for families to make that decision. Some are, some can't. But the headline goes on to read why one paycheck no longer covers family needs. Why is that? That is because of government debt and a central bank that monetizes that debt. As the government continues to spend and create more and more debt, the Federal Reserve monetizes that debt, and the value of our currency continues to erode, to the point where goods and services continue to become more and more and more expensive, and living is simply just too expensive. And now many people are wondering if there is even an American dream left. Listen, in 2009, during the great financial crisis, 1.7 million cars were repossessed. That's a lot of cars. But so far this year, in 2025, 2.2 million cars have already been repossessed. And estimates state by the end of 2025, that number will surge past 3 million. People need their cars to go to work. And that's another point. People are losing their jobs. The economy is extremely fragile. Now, silver has just reached an historic high, soaring above $64. If you're not paying attention to silver, you might be saying so, but those of you that are paying attention, you know that is massive. It's very, very important. Why is silver soaring? Why is the price of gold soaring? Well, if we look at it technically, the dollar is collapsing. Gold is a store of value, a hedge against inflation, and yet it is increasing in price because people are running to the safe haven as currency is collapsing. The monetary system is extremely volatile. And now we see silver finally surging. I want you to look at this chart. That blue line reaching the sky is $9 trillion of treasury debt. That needs to be refinanced, dealt with, not in 2030, but in 2026. That's next year. Now, if you were paying attention a few years ago, when the Federal Reserve was buying and putting treasury bonds on their books, the cost of living soared. We're already experiencing unaffordable living conditions here in America for many people. Over 60% are paycheck to paycheck. And now $9 trillion? Will the Federal Reserve put that on their books? Well, here's what Reuters ran. Fed says it will start technical buying of treasury bills to manage market liquidity. Now, if that's Greek to you, if you will, liquidity is absolutely necessary in the market to keep this engine going. It's like oil in your automotive machines. You need oil. You need gasoline, or you need electricity. You need these things or the engine stops. Without liquidity, the system completely breaks. So, because the Fed can buy treasuries or print money, if you will, then liquidity can be in the market. The system can be saved. But unfortunately, the general public ends up to be experiencing higher cost of living because purchasing power is eroding. Currency is collapsing. God is warning us, yet we are to ponder the path of our feet, not to allow these external things knock us off course, walking with God, but also be open to the fact that what do you want to do today in my life, Lord? What are you teaching me? What should I be doing? We all are aware of the parable of the talents and the servants, the wise, the faithful stewards who use God's resources appropriately. We all are aware of the steward who just buried the talents and ended up being called a wicked servant. Right now, it is important to realize that God is speaking to us, warning us of the crisis before it's here. What should we be doing? Well, listen to this from one investor. His name is Paul Tudor Jones. If you're familiar with investors, he's very well known. And he's warning the general public. He's talking about gold and bullion and silver. In a world with $370 trillion of financial assets, mostly priced in paper or digital screens, he says, how is it that you do not own any bullion? How is it that you do not own any real money such as gold and silver? We need to realize that the warning with just owning financial assets is tremendously risky. Now, as the Fed will add or purchase treasuries, more than likely we will see stocks continue to rise. But the signs that we see with the Federal Reserve buying treasuries and the sign that we see with the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates does not tell us the economy is good. On the contrary, it warns us that the economy is bad. So we need to ponder the path of our feet, because God can do miraculous things in you and through you no matter what the economy around you is doing. We are told to trust in the Lord with all our heart, to lean not on our own understanding, acknowledge the Lord in all our ways, and he shall make your paths straight. Ponder the path of your feet. Ask yourself now, where are you headed? Are you trusting God? Are you using his resources wisely? Are you being a good steward? Are you paying attention? Are you becoming a critical thinker? Are you asking questions? Or are you like the servant, just basically hiding everything in the sand, especially your head? Faith is not blind. Christians can be, quite honestly, the smartest individuals on the planet. And we need to be wise as serpents and gentle as doves. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you spending time with me. If you like what we're doing here, consider subscribing to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And you may also want to share this with a friend who needs some encouragement and also a wake-up call. The financial crisis that we are headed into here in America and globally will not be easy. Faith will be stretched. Trust in God will be pressed. But do not let the economy around you pull you away from trusting in God. Continue to ask, seek, and knock, and allow God to speak into your difficulties so that he can show you the opportunities for you to thrive during this period. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.